Exactly. And for me,
And the media has done this for years.
for years, and it's only becoming now more apparent with social media and social media bringing an alternate narrative out in front of people. That's where that's where the front line of the war is at the moment. Not to get too depressing. Again,
Yeah, I know.
Okay, reeling it back. So, Karachi. Growing up, did you do was your higher education in the arts?
Yeah, no, it was not. I did my O levels from Mama Parsi.
Yep.
And then I went and did my A levels at Lyceum.
Yep.
And they were the best 2 years of my life. Like the A level circus, it's massive, but it's very tiny.
It is.
Like you'll know people who know people who know people.
For sure.
And the more you roam around in those circles, the more like you'll be like, oh my God, you're also here.
And you know, if we had met up like this back in Karachi, it would have been no big deal. But to have met in Sydney, you know, that is what holds a special place, because you find somebody who can relate. To
and I think
the nostalgia.
there's so much of that missing here. You know, that familiarity. Like I speak to my friends in like America and Canada and you know everywhere in the world, and they're just like, it feels like home because we have familiarity.
Yeah, you don't have that in Sydney yet.
Well, I have 8 months left, so I don't think a lot is changing in that time.
Yep.
And I'll blink and it'll be gone. But A-levels, the friends I made in that time, I'm still friends with them. You know, that group of friends has been there. Like, we're all over the world. But, you know, half of them came back. Half of them went back to Karachi. And they settled there and, you know, a baka business and, you know, or wanting to just... It's a different life. And it's interesting to me where everyone is chasing the Western world and, you know, everyone is chasing this really good life that I speak of. The grass is always greener on the other side.
It is.
Right?
It is.
But then you get there and you're like, oh, actually, wait a minute. And it's not.
It's not.
It's not. You know, the constant struggle, the barriers, the constant barriers is what it is, right? And I can call 20 people in Karachi if anything ever went wrong, right? Pick up the phone and be like, one, family's there, right?
Yep.
Amma, my tire's gone flat.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not calling the NRMA, right?
Yeah.
Medical. Let's talk about that, right? I'm terrified to fall sick here, even though I have to have private health insurance.
Yeah.
I'm terrified.
It's not about the health insurance. I believe it's about the support network.
That
you're
too.
missing.
I am. And it's just kind of like, also like, I miss having freedom of like my car. just like get in the car and like go somewhere and not having to wait.
How come you haven't bought a car here yet?
I have epilepsy.
Oh, right.
So I'm not allowed to drive.
Oh, is that really? They fail you in the test?
No, they don't fail. I have my license. I have my full license.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Okay.
I have a full
she bought
license.
the receipts.
Yeah. I have a full license and everything, but and I had it for a really long time, and then 4 weeks ago I had a seizure, so it's suspended at the moment. Which is fine. I have to be seizure free for a year before I can drive here.
Does it get really bad?
Back home, there's no issue.
Really? Wow.
Well, no one's gonna check back home because, like, you know.
And everybody's driving like they're having a seizure anyway.
This is true. You're not wrong. You're really not wrong. And but like, there's a thrill about driving in Karachi.
Yep.
Like, yeah, there's a thrill.
There's a thrill to it.
There's a thrill.
If you've driven in Karachi, you can drive pretty much anywhere.
Anywhere in the world. And like, I sit in the passenger seat with some of my friends here and they're like, oh, the traffic. And I'm like, you have no idea.
You have no idea.
You have no idea.
Yeah, at least
about what traffic is.
Yeah, at least people follow a certain pattern over here. They
have rules here.
Yeah.
They have speed limits. Yeah.
But then again, that is what I'm talking about. That in itself, the traffic and the rashness of driving in Karachi, that's what feeds into the spirit of the city itself. That is what makes Karachi Karachi.
I actually did art, business, and psychology in A-levels, and very quickly realized that I hate having restrictions to things. Like, even when you're, like, you have so many guidelines. Even when you're doing art, you must follow these guidelines, and this is what they're expecting. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And all my teachers are like, do what you want to do. I think they pretty much got really fed up of me. I was a notorious child and a student.
Yep.
To be fair, I was a good student. I would do my stuff. I would, submit things on time and do the work. And I was really hardworking. I was just never a test taker.
Yep.
It's just never a test taker. So I wasn't a very studious kid. And oh well.
Were you always inclined towards the arts as a kid?
Yeah, I think I was. I think I started being on stage at a very young age. I was 2 years old when I did my first Montessori little, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then all through O levels and like high school, I was in a play every year.
Yep.
I do poetry every year. And then I was 8 when I wrote my first set of lyrics. They will never see the light of day. Ever.
What was the song called?
I don't know.
Hand on heart, tell me what that song was called.
I could not tell you. I go back home. I still have the book.
Yeah.
I still have the book, and I think the last time I was there, I flipped through it, and I was like, dear Lord.
But what was it? Unrequited love?
At 8? No, probably like, at 8? Probably something about my brother or like, yeah.